Off we go on the Ryan Hartson Show on the BWC Network. I am Ryan Hartson. What a pleasure it is to be with you here on this Saturday, breaking down everything in the NFL with you. And we just broke down the storylines. It's Tebow, it's the Packers, and that's all that's left. I mean, Tebow doesn't even matter. I mean, I know we think he does, and it's a cute story, but I mean, whatever. He really doesn't matter. He really doesn't. It's insignificant. Compared to the Packers story, it's not even close. And I know the media loves it. And I know they're all excited because we've never seen anything like this before. Yeah, I know. But, I mean, what does he do? He runs around and he throws an awkward ball. And, if he wasn't Christian, I'm convinced of that. If he wasn't Christian, he wouldn't get a third of the publicity he does. The fact that he is this Jesus freak guy is the only reason he's a story. Really, the only reason he's a story. Jesus this, God that, Tebowing, everything he does gets all this attention. That's all it is. It's Christianity, and Tebow, at this point, Tebow's a cult leader. That's what he is. I mean, think about all the hubbub that you've gotten from Tebow over the last few weeks, especially. If Kyle Orton had never been replaced by Tim Tebow, someone probably would have made an attempt on Kyle Orton's life. I'm convinced of that. Tebow had to play, otherwise somebody was going to get shot in Denver. I mean, seriously, or someone could have tried to kill Orton. It is that bad. I've heard the horror stories that have come out of Green Bay about people sending death threats to Aaron Rodgers when he was trying to replace Brett Favre in 2008. Football fans are insane, completely insane. And it would have been really sad, and it's about Tebow. And at this point he's a cult leader. And I think it's disgusting. I'm disgusted by Tim Tebow. He freaks me out. He scares me and he freaks me out. And I'm waiting for the sex scandal. Like, he's next, right? Like, we've had all these Catholic priests and Jerry Sandusky and Ted Haggard. Tebow would be the next guy. I could just see it happening. And, I think that's kind of where it's headed. Like, this is way too good. And I think something really bad is going to happen with Tebow. And it's just... At this point, it's just nasty. And I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed, and I'm not happy about it. Tebow is nothing I'm interested in. I mean, I sit here, I'm the anti-Tebow. I really am. And I don't really care about his play anymore. I just care about the person. Like, I'm sure he's a nice guy, but all the crap that's around him is just pathetic. It's disgusting. Because we're talking about a player that isn't that good, and yet we're completely obsessed with him. And we don't really care about Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady anymore. The actual superstars, we're kind of ignoring them. The people that have actually accomplished something in this league, as opposed to a guy that runs around and wins a couple games late. So the Tebow thing is pathetic. It's pathetic and it's useless, and I'm sick of talking about it. So, that's kind of where it is. All right, so let's move on. Break down every game in the NFL. I'll break down a few here, then we'll take a break, and we'll break down a few more. We'll start with Dallas and Tampa Bay. Cowboys really need a win in Tampa. Tony Romo needs to get something going if the Cowboys are going to make the playoffs. I don't think they will. They're probably going to win tonight, but I think my Super Bowl team is probably going to miss the playoffs, which that never happens to me. My Super Bowl teams usually make the playoffs, but I bought into this Dallas team, bought into Jason Garrett, and it bit me in the ass. I'm never picking the Cowboys to do good until they get rid of Jerry Jones. I don't think the Cowboys can win a Super Bowl. Jerry Jones is the owner, as the general manager. They can win it with him as the owner. I think him calling the shots, I think it's bad. I think owners calling the shots is bad for football. Al Davis was a mess. I know now that he's dead, I know we're not allowed to say anything bad about him anymore. He was awful. He was the worst owner in sports. Jerry Jones is almost identical to Al Davis now. He's starting to get like that. He's kind of crazy. He's kind of kooky. And him as a general manager, it's a big mistake. Obviously, it's a big mistake, and it's not working, and you need more freedom. You need to have a general manager, a guy that actually knows football and not just pretends that he knows football like Jerry Jones. I think Dallas is going to win tonight just because Tampa's awful. Miami plays Buffalo. Not a lot to say. Fitzpatrick, the Bills are awful. I know they were hot for a little while. That's over now. So let's move on, please. Miami, nice little football team, too. They fire Tony Sperano. That's going to be a terrible game. Seattle plays Chicago. Caleb Haney against Tavares Jackson or maybe Charlie Whitehurst. I don't know. Seattle actually looks better than the Bears do. But they're going to Chicago. The Bears will probably get back on track. But Seattle, can win that game. Bears suck. God, both those teams are bad. Carolina plays Houston. Cam Newton versus TJ Yates. This is a really interesting game. And I like TJ Yates. I like the way he played in Cincinnati last week. But I think Cam Newton's just better. I think at this point Cam Newton's a better player. I think they can go into Houston and win that game. And if they do, all of a sudden Cam Newton, I mean, this is a statement game for the Carolina Panthers. You go in, you get this win. That's big. That's really big. Houston still has home field advantage in the AFC. Tennessee is playing Indianapolis. Tennessee is really bad. Indianapolis is considerably worse. Indianapolis is going to lose every game. They're going to lose every single game. Green Bay plays Kansas City. Kansas City's a mess. They they bring up a new head coach, Romeo Crennel. So I think Kansas City, I think they're going to be a little more motivated. They're going to try to keep it close. It's in Kansas City. Packers going to stay focused and probably get another big win. Aaron Rodgers, really, really good. And 14-0 home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And then are they going to sit their players? Oh, my God. No, they're not. Why are we even talking about this? Have people paid attention to what the Packers have done? In 2009, they had everything clinched, and they just played. They had everything clinched a week early, and they played a game in Arizona that was meaningless, and they blew out the Cardinals. A couple years before that, they had everything clinched up that they could going into a game against the Lions at home, and they played their starters, and I think they won the game like 34-10. They just played. Mike McCarthy doesn't sit people. He just doesn't. He never has, and he never will. He believes in momentum. Packers aren't resting their starters. They're just not. New Orleans plays Minnesota, and this is going to a dome. Drew Brees loves playing in his dome. Let's see how he does at a different dome. He should do all right because the Vikings are awful, so the Saints should score, 40 points or so on the Vikings. No problemo. Redskins play the Giants. This is a classic game for the Giants to have a letdown in. They do this all the time. Every time everybody thinks, oh, the Giants are back, and then they fall back down. So the Redskins can win this game. They played really well against New England last week. Giants are probably going to pull it out, but I think that's going to be a really close one. Cincinnati plays St. Louis, and who cares, man? I mean, the Rams are really bad. The Bengals, when they were 6-2, I was screaming, "Come on, they're going to fall back," and they are. They're going to miss the playoffs. They're just not that good. They're too young, and they don't have enough talent on offense to be a sustainable playoff team. And I was right. Thank you. Detroit goes to Oakland, and Ndamukong Suh comes back for the Detroit Lions, playing an Oakland team that has been whacked the last 2 weeks by the Dolphins and the Packers. Got to get back on track at home, but I think Stafford, Calvin Johnson, where did he go? Calvin Johnson just disappeared after a while. Everyone was like, all right, we're going to triple team him, and somebody else is going to have to beat him. And they did. So, and I think Detroit, is going to pick this one up because I think Oakland is just out of gas. They're just out of gas. Cleveland plays Arizona. Congratulations. I'm happy for you. I'm happy. Hopefully Cleveland can make the trip out there okay. And then New England plays Denver. And this is what you call the super ultimate game of the century, of the year, for this year. It's really the first massive game we've had. It's Tebow, it's Brady. And the Patriots love playing in these big games. I love this. I love what the Patriots do because they never fail at this. They are playing a massive game that people think is going to be really big and really close and really intense, and maybe the other team can win. And then the Patriots come in and drop a 50 spot and say, really? You really thought that this was going to happen? Okay. And then Brady comes out and throws 6 touchdowns. I think it's going to be one of those. I think New England is going to whack the Broncos. And Tebow, he hasn't played a big-time team yet. He hasn't played a big boy AFC team yet. I think he's going to get stomped on, frankly. I think Patriots are going to win this one huge. Tebow please bring this guy back down to earth. The cult leader in a lot of trouble this week. Jets play the Eagles. Philadelphia, believe it or not, favored at home. They are favored at home. Wow. Against the Jets. I think the Jets are going to go in and win. I like the way Sanchez is playing. I think Vic is going to get shut down by Rex Ryan. Rex Ryan likes shutting down players like this, and I think the Jets are going to pick one up because I think they're going to make the playoffs and make a big run. I think this is where they make it. So there you go. Baltimore plays San Diego. San Diego at home, they're starting to figure something out. Baltimore, when they play really big games, they win. And I think they're going to go out and San Diego in the powder blues, oddly enough. I think Baltimore is going to go in there and get that win. I like the way Joe Flacco is starting to play a little bit. They're getting Ray Rice the ball. The defense is great. Ray Lewis should be back, so that's exciting. And I think San Diego, I think they're going to play a really close one. But Baltimore is probably going to win that game. So, all right. I keep doing the 2-segment things in one segment because, I don't know, I'm just tired of doing 2 segments. I got other stuff to do. So let's move on. Let's go and pick the games. Dallas plays Tampa. I'll take the Cowboys. Miami and Buffalo. I'll take the Dolphins because I think the Bills suck. Seattle plays the Bears. I will take the Bears at home because Seattle, outside of whatever the hell they call their little stadium now, outside of Seattle, they're awful. So I'll take the Bears. Houston plays Carolina. Something about Cam Newton I like. I'm going to take the Panthers. I think Cam Newton's going to go in there and get this done. Tennessee plays Indianapolis. I haven't picked the Colts all year, and I never will. I'll take Tennessee. Green Bay plays Kansas City. Packers, keep it going, baby. I'll take Green Bay. They're one of the best teams, one of the best stories we've had in maybe in NFL history. Saints play the Vikings. Saints, really big. Redskins, Giants, this is going to be a tight one. Eli Manning, something tells me he's going to have a stinker in this one. Giants are going to win this one, but it's going to be really, really close. Rams play the Bengals. I'm going to take the Bengals because the Rams might be the worst team in football outside of Indianapolis. Detroit and Oakland, I'm going to take the Lions to go in there. The Raiders might be able to pull one out, but I don't know. No, that's not going to. Oakland's terrible. Oakland really is bad. They've fallen apart. They've just fallen apart, and now they're awful. December collapse. Cleveland plays Arizona. Cleveland, I can't trust Cleveland. I can't trust him. I can't trust Arizona either. Can I declare a tie? Like, come on. I'm going to take Arizona at home. And the Jets play the Eagles. I think the Jets are going to go in there and win. Sanchez is starting to play a little better. The defense is going to shut down Vic, and the Eagles suck. U-Haul game, I think they call it. I'll take the Jets. Baltimore plays San Diego. I am going to take Baltimore. I think it's going to be close, but I think the Ravens know how to play in big games, and they're going to pick this one up. All right, we saved the most annoying for last. Patriots play the Broncos in Denver. Timmy Rah-Rah against Tom Terrific. The cult leader against Boy Wonder. You really... Did anyone pick Denver? I'm just curious. Because I think New England's going to whack this team. I think New England, big-time team. It's a massive game. And just Tebow needs to be put down. He really does. Brady and Belichick, as usual, are our last great hope. Please, for the love of God, go in there and shut these guys up. Make Tebow stop. Please. For all of us. I've had enough. This has been the worst week in the history of American media. Way too much Tebow. Way too much Tebow. Tebow should never get this much attention. He's not that good. So let's put him down right here. I keep calling for the Patriots to score 50. The last month I've been saying I think they're going to score 50 points. This is the week. I think they're going to put 56 up in Denver against Tim Tebow, who is just, it is time for him to shut up. Or not even him, just the people around him. Tebow doesn't really talk. It's just kind of everybody around him, and that's who I'm mad at more so than Tebow. Their little cult that Tebow kind of came up with by accident. And his Tebowing. So I'm going to take New England big. I think they're going to whack the Broncos come Sunday. All right, there you go. Your NFL preview for Week 15. I will be here on Monday to break it all down. I skipped you the last couple weeks because, I got stuff to do. But now I'm off. I'm off of school so I can break stuff down for you. There you go. I'll see you then. It's the Ryan Hartson Show on the BWC Network.